Imagine a world where race car designers were sculpting air without even knowing why their shapes worked. There were no wind tunnels, no computer simulations, no airflow models on screens. Just intuition, bold experimentation, and a dangerous desire to go faster than anyone ever had before. In the early days of motor racing, speed pioneers were shaping metal and would almost like artists, making strange and daring design choices that looked bizarre at the time, yet somehow laid the foundation for modern high-speed stability. Did you know that some of the most important aerodynamic breakthroughs in early race cars came from pure trial and error rather than scientific understanding? Engineers and builders noticed patterns before they understood principles. A smoother body sometimes meant a higher top speed. A longer nose sometimes meant better control. A covered wheel sometimes reduced shaking. They did not fully know why. They only knew what seemed to work on the track. Each race became a rolling laboratory, and each lap was an experiment with real risk. The year is the mid-1920s. Race speeds are rising fast, but aerodynamic science is still barely applied to automobiles. Aircraft research exists, but very little of it has been translated to car design. Drivers are reaching speeds that make vehicles unstable, lifting, and unpredictable. Some cars begin to feel light at the front. Others start to wander on straights. Instead of equations, designers respond with instinct. They lower the body. They taper the rear. They smooth the front grille. Not because theory tells them to, but because experience whispers that the air itself must be fighting the car. Early builders begin to notice that blunt shapes seem to struggle while rounded shapes slice forward more easily. Without formal testing tools, they rely on driver feedback. A driver reports that one body shape feels calmer at speed. Another says a certain curve reduces vibration. These observations become design rules. Workshops become idea factories where craftsmen reshape panels between races, chasing invisible forces they cannot see and cannot measure. Some experiments look ridiculous. Streamlined tails that extend far behind the car. Narrow, torpedo-like bodies that make entry and exit difficult. Fully enclosed shapes that trap heat and complicate repairs. Many of these ideas fail. Some are abandoned immediately, but a few produce shocking gains in top speed and stability. When they do, competitors copy them quickly, even if no one can explain the physics behind the improvement. Drivers themselves play a role in these discoveries. They crouch lower behind the wheel to reduce wind resistance. They tape over openings. They adjust shields and covers. They become part of the aerodynamic profile of the machine. Human posture becomes a performance variable. The fastest drivers are often the ones most willing to adapt their body to the airflow. Over time, patterns turn into principles. Principles turn into early aerodynamic theory. By the 1930s, more systematic testing begins to appear. Wind tunnels slowly enter automotive development. Engineers finally start measuring what the pioneers only guessed. And remarkably, many of those early intuitive shapes prove to be directionally correct. The rebels of speed were not just lucky. They were observant, fearless, and relentlessly experimental. What began as artistic guesswork evolves into scientific discipline. The strange curves and stretched bodies of early race cars become the ancestors of modern downforce machines. Today, every surface of a race car is calculated, simulated, and optimized. But the roots of that precision trace back to a time when designers shaped air blindly, guided only by instinct and the courage to try something that looked wrong. The secret is this: innovation often starts before understanding. The pioneers did not wait for perfect knowledge. They built, tested, and learned at full speed. And by daring to experiment with the invisible, they transformed racing forever.